Hello everyone, this is session 5. We're going to talk about application of span tree and the loop detections. It has three parts: span tree, loop detection introduction. Second one is the common deployment topology, and the third one is STP issue we encountered in some project. So for STP, this is a standard span tree protocol. When we use this one, and there's one network topologic change. For example, this port will be blocked. So this switch detect this kind of topologic change. They set this topologic change notification to the upper switch. The upper switch set to the root switch. The root switch send the TCA, and then root switch set this topologic change. Fly this one to all the switches in this spanning tree, and the switches refresh their MAC address, but it will wait for 15 seconds. This is for the delay, so the whole process is a little bit slow. So let's think that how it works in the RSTP. In the RSTP, if the switch 4 detects there has top lock changes under its port, it will set out the top logic change, the TC uh, BPDU package directly to other switches. So this will be very fast. So RSTP doesn't have that forward delay. So and this TC can be generated and set by any switch that detect the top lock change first. For this STP, now let's see lots of the features. First one is the root guard. For the root guard is once we configure this root guard, it will protect the root switches to be the root switch all the time. Here I give examples. We have one network, we have the core switch, we have the access switches. Now the user have a new switch. So with these new switches, its MAC address is very small, and they have a lower bridge ID. So when you connect this network, according to this span tree protocol, this new access switch will be the root. So our network need to be changed, and our core switch may some port may be blocked by this topological change. So we need to protect our core switch always be the root. So that's why we configure the root guard. And then is loop detection, loop protection. Why we have loop uh, protection? Because we know that in the networks they usually have the congestion. For our Shabani trace based on the BPTU, we set the keep set the hello package. If this hello package is set to the network, and for the more than a time, more than its waiting time, we haven't received the reply, they will consider the port is be blocked. So the original black port maybe become open. But once it's open, you have the loop in the network. So after we enable this loop protection, if this port cannot receive its BPDU package, it will keep waiting and set the notification alert to the IT managers. There is the BPDU guard. BPDU guard is like we will configure one port and NG port, and then we receive a BPDU message from this port. The port will be blocked. And the TC protection. TC protection is the because we say that TC is very powerful. When we receive the TC, uh, we will refresh our MAC address. But maybe there has a attacker they set loss of our TC package, so our network keep fresh the MAC address, so we cannot do the normal communication from the servers to the servers or laptop to laptop. So here we can configure about the fast AG protections. And that is the engine port. We know for the access switches, if the laptop is disconnected or removed, it shouldn't cause the lot of the change to our network. So we can enable this engine port in this access switch that connect to the switches, connect to the laptop servers. And the BBDU filtering and port disable STP. What the use of this? Uh, because we know that this switch, the recommend diameter of the span trace is less than the 7. So if we have 100 switches, we need to separate to the different STP domain. So for this STP domain, okay, the STP zones. So the STP message should send to each other because STP is for example, the TC is the broadcast. So that will cost lots of the network broadcast package our network. So better we can use this BBD filter or disable the STP on the port to separate our STP domains. So here's our configuration for the smart switch. We go to this switch, the span tree, we choose the switch and choose the port. Under this port, we can enable these span tree features. And for loop detections, this is the different protocol with the span tree. This is like we have the one port, we enable these loop protections. We will set the loop detection message. If we set this message and then we receive this message from this same port, that's me, this message be looped back, we'll consider that has a loop under this port. So this port can be blocked and then send the alert to the IT managers. These are loop detections. We can check that the loop is detected and we block this port. And now let's see these common deployment topologies. First one is a core switch, one core switch and several distributed switch. This is the one single building, so this network is not that large. So we just configure this core switch as the root switch, and then enable this root guard in these two ports, and also we use the RSTP. We recommend to use RSTP, and in the access switch, it's better to enable the edge port and the BPDU and the BPDU guard. Then in the core and the topology too is we have the one core switch, but more distribution switch. This network is uh, distribution to each different buildings. So in this kind of scenario, we recommend this distribution switch can be the core switch, can be the gateway. And from the distribution switch to the core switch, we use a layer 3 connection. So that's me. From here to here, no spanning tree. No need to use a spanning tree. It's layer 3 connections. And the other one spanning tree, one distribution switch here, we have the one spanning tree. So that's why we can make the spanning tree domain also smaller. And in this distribution switch port here, we configure the root guard, and on the access switch, we configure the entry port and the BPDU guard. And if we use the dual core switch, the protocol we use this for the dual core switch with the stanking, that is similar with the topology one. We just configure this two port, this port and this port as the root guard, enable the root guard, and we still can use RSTP. And for the access switches, we enable the entry port and the PPT guard. And then is the MLAG. For the MLAG, we prefer to use recommended SMTP. So because for the MS for this MLAG, usually is used with VRP. So we can The master of the VRP group uh, corresponds to the root bridge of the STP instance 0, and another one be the for the root bridge of this MSTP2, another instance. So these two can do the active backup, and also we can enable the root guard in the core switch, and then edge port and the BPDU guard in the access switch. So for the access layers, for the topology 1 and topology 2, we can use the span tree or use the loop detections to detect the, the loop and prevent the loop in the network. For the topology 3, here we if these other switches, it also support the span tree. We can use a span tree to prevent the loop. If these other switches do not support a span tree, we can use the loop direction to detect the loop. And for access switches, here we can just enable the edge port, so if the port is up or down, we will not set the TC package, and it will cost our networks a MAC address refresh. So last part is about the span tree issues cases. This one we need to know that what kind of these issues will happen to our network if there has a loop. First one is a broadcast storm. There's lots of the package, and also we cause the frame redu re replication. They will cause that lots of the package will be copied for many times, and for the servers, or the laptop, they will remove will receive several same package. At the MAC address shift, the MAC address because it keep do the fresh, keep be fresh. So you sometimes you see this MAC address be learned from port 1, sometimes from the port 2, and also there we see lots of the traffic, broadcast traffic at the port. And if we check that ports from our controllers, you see the traffic is almost like always like 100 Mbps. And when we do this remove the loop from network, we in the some uh, server room, maybe we need to do the arrangement for the lights first, the cables first. Now let's say the first issue is happen to our smart switch. We use our smart switch RS650 as the core switch, and this core switch connect other access switches. The problem is like the terminals, the laptop to P the servers, they have packet loss, and but if when it P the gateway, there's no package loss. So why? So the when we check this core switch, we find this MAC address is keep doing the refresh, and then when we debug the STP, we find there's received lots of the TC-BPDU. So we need to figure out where is this BPDU come from. Then we find that this BPDU is come from distribution switch. So what the solution is like, we split the span tree. We go into from this core switch to another to the distribution switch. Uh, we configure BPDU filtering or disable that BPDU. Disable the span tree at the port, and then we configure these edge ports and BPDU guard. And the second issues happen to one core switch, high-end core switch, and the phenomenon, the The problem phenomenon is there's a packet loss region about 1%, and there is for the users if they use the either video conference, they will automatically drop sometimes. So let's see how this problem happens, and when we debug this STP in the core switch, we find that it's also receive a lot of the TC package, and it keep doing the refresh the MAC address, so there has the package loss. And sometimes if this MAC address be removed, it cannot learn very fast, so they will have the automatically drop for the conference video. And so let's see our solutions. So our solution is first we open the edge port and the BPT guard in the access switches. So if for the access switches, if they receive the TC BPDU, the port will be shut down. And also turn off the telemetry of the port 32 because lots of the TC packages from this core switch of this port 20 32. So we after we disable the telemetry of this port, the telemetry package, the BPD package will not set to the core switch. And also they recommend to configure the core switch uh, as a root guard, the root guard on the core switch. So here's the recommend for this deployment when we use the span tree. So for the large network, we recommend to use the layer 3 between the distribution switch and the core switch. And after we deploy the span tree, you need to enable the edge port and BPD guard at the access switches. And also, if we after we finish the deployment, we can enable the root guard on the core switch, and for the port that not used, we can close it. And also we need to configure the different VLANs to make the to make the broadcast domain smaller. Okay, so this all for this span tree.